This is the Major Figures Podcast, recorded at GOT Sound Studio, with your hosts Goody and Chris Darnell. We're a community for people who inspire to be major figures and want major figures. Let's figure it out together.
What's going on? What's going on? It's another episode of Major Figures Podcast with your host Chris Darnell and
Goody.
And today we got another special guest in the building, man. We got a super dope chick. We got TiffanyJ in the building. TiffanyJ, what's going on with you?
I'm doing good. I'm low-key embarrassed because I just realized who you were when you said Chris Darnell.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh, man.
Man, what's going on?
I'm fine.
Oh, man. Who did you think I was?
I mean, I don't look at people hard.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, Chris Darnell.
I came in and you might have just said Chris. I don't think you said Chris.
Nah,
Darnell.
I didn't. I said Chris.
Yeah, so it didn't register.
Well, Chris Darnell, nice to meet your acquaintance again.
Yes, sir.
But we got TiffanyJ, man.
J.
What's going on with you?
Living.
Man.
Living.
So for those who don't know, who is TiffanyJ?
TiffanyJ, all around creative.
Okay.
Entrepreneur, artist, visually and musically.
Okay.
Author, mental health advocate.
You do a little bit of everything.
I don't dance. I don't dance. Some things I don't do, but I dib and dab, and just a lot of creativity, and uplifting, people. I'm a big self-esteem, confidence advocate.
That's dope.
Dope.
Yeah.
So for I know you do a lot of stuff. So take us back. Where did this start? Where did you get this mind to be so
creativity?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think I've always had like a artsy little thing about myself. Like I've always been like a sneaker girl. Like I used to save my report card money to buy sneakers when I was like in middle school. So I've always liked fashion, I guess. I don't like to call it fashion. I'm more of a style person.
Okay.
I don't
Hence the glasses. Okay.
Follow fashion trends. Now my glasses are medicated. I can't see for real, so they got my prescription in them. Like I don't know. I know a lot of what I do with the uplifting of people kind of came from my past of like low self-esteem and depression. Because like at 12, I attempted to commit suicide. So a lot of what I started, I guess, figuring out how to express myself through art after that, because I started writing songs after that. It was just a way, show me how art can help heal. So
was that the cause of like you wanted to not do that no more, not kill yourself anymore? Was the art?
Well, no, the art gave me a way to express, because before that I was not accustomed to, or I did not know how to express feelings. I was like that person that bottled everything in and held it in until you explode. So I learned how to release thoughts without damaging myself or anybody else.
So what came first? Was it the music? Was it the just the fashion, the graphics, or what came first?
Music came first. I've always sang, like since I can remember. As a little girl, I've always been on the church choir. I watched my mama sing in church every Sunday. Like music is like my first love. So music came first. As far as me creating music, it came after, suicide attempt, but music has always been there.
Gotcha.
So you play and stuff too?
I did play trumpet.
Okay.
I know enough about the keyboard to tell you what note this is, but I don't play keys. But I do vocal arrangements and stuff like that. So I'm not a instrumentalist, no.
Okay.
So you ever played an instrument?
Nah. When I tried, it was too late.
Man.
My brothers
it's
and
never
sisters,
too late.
No, let me tell you. I got a lot of brothers and sisters.
Right.
So when it came my time to join band, everybody kept quitting. So my stepmother was like, nah. Stick the ball.
I get that. I quit the band too. And like the week after I quit band, and it was because I had this little hiccup with the band instructor. My daddy took my trumpet right back to the the store, so I couldn't even say like next year I'm going back. Like he didn't give me a chance to.
Yo, them instruments are not cheap either.
Tell you, I played the drums at my church growing up, man, and then I started playing the bass guitar and different stuff. But when I was at school, in 6th grade, I wouldn't play the saxophone. That joint's so smooth, bro.
I thought y'all was gonna be so cool.
That was my first choice of instrument.
But everybody wanted to do it, so they didn't have enough. So they stuck me with, bro.
A big instrument.
I get a French horn, bro.
French
I'm
horn.
gonna stick my hand in that mug, man. That joint look stupid as heck. Hands sweating and man.
You probably was the only French horn player, right?
I was the only black one.
Oh, okay.
It was like one other white guy beside me, man. And
Was he nice?
No, he was nice. He always got first chair.
I was first year trumpet.
See.
We were supposed to like choose 3 instruments. Mine was saxophone, clarinet, and percussion. I didn't get none of
See,
the
I didn't even make it that
My
far.
band instructor said I had a buzzing mouth. Like, what is a buzzing
what?
mouth?
A buzz him out.
Yeah, so he stuck me on trumpet. But I was first chair.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What is that noise? That sounds like a bee in here. Oh no, that's crazy. So you said it was the music. So when did the graphics? When did all that come?
Graphics didn't come until I was getting my Bachelor of Science degree. My Bachelor of Science degree is in computer science. And my last year of studying, when we were, figuring out how to code websites, I was more interested in how to make websites visually appealing without coding. So I kind of discovered graphic design. I'm self-taught.
Do you draw too?
I don't. I don't draw.
Okay.
What?
That's what's up.
So yeah, graphic design came my senior year in college.
So you said you're an advocate for
mental health, self-esteem.
Mental health, self-esteem.
Confidence, yeah.
So how did you come up with the Super Beauty?
So Super Beauty was birthed after I have a girls camp organization. Matter of fact, we just had our 10th annual Beauty UR boot camp last
10 years?
weekend. Yeah, 10.
Yo,
Our 10th
that's
one.
crazy.
And it's basically just simply a mission of boosting self-esteem and confidence in girls ages 6 through 17. And when I released my first book, it was not a children's book. And I just was like, I need to give, of all the things that I'm doing, I need to give something to that audience that I already have. So I had the idea to create a children's book character, which is Super Beauty. But I knew if I was going to create a children's book, I wanted a traveling mascot. So as I was shopping for places that made mascots, I came across a company that was like, turn your character into a plush doll, which introduced me to the idea of having a doll. Wow. But I was just like, dope. My doll had to be different. So that's where I infused, because my doll talks. She says over 20 phrases that boost self-esteem. So I was like,
yeah, I was about to ask that, your voice?
Super Beauty's voice is not my voice. Okay. Now, we have a handsome hero who is her twin brother that came after that. That's my voice.
Oh, okay.
I do voice the handsome hero, though, but not Super Beauty.
So you like handsome hero when you do the voice? Do you like, hey, I just wanna?
So he's a little boy. He's 10. So what happened was, I used like my regular voice. No, to be honest, I used my regular voice, but I toned it down.
Like what's her name?
I toned it down in GarageBand, so I like turned it.
That's smart.
Like what's Regina King? She did Boondocks.
Oh
What's the other boy name? She played both of them characters.
So yeah, I use my own voice and I just altered it in post. Yeah.
Do you have a life-size character for him too?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hopefully one day soon, but not yet.
So how long did it take you to write the book about Super Beauty, or coming up with the whole concept?
So we currently have 3 books out. Mm-hmm. Coming up with the concept is crazy because I don't know. I just kind of woke up one day with the name Super Beauty, but I didn't even remember that one of my mentees from camp, I don't remember what year it was, but she did a school project on me, and she called me Super Beauty.
Oh, that's
But
dope.
it didn't resurface to my memory until after I named Super Beauty, and then I was like, oh, I got this file still somewhere, and I found her project. But it was just like kind of full circle. I didn't even remember that seed she planted in me. So I think with the concept, The planning stages, maybe a year. Maybe a year. I don't really sit on things long before I move on them. I understand how people want to plan things and take their time, but I've never been like somebody that sits on things long. Like as when I have my goal or my plan, like I just go.
Are you like a risk taker? Would you consider
Absolutely. Everything I do
Got
is a
to.
risk. Yeah,
Got to.
You don't win without risk.
Come on now. That appreciate what an organ at. No, I'm joking. So it's the Super Beauties based off of you.
So she's not necessarily based off of me. So with Super Beauty's brand, we actively promote obviously self-love, confidence, but we also promote anti-bullying. And the reason I wanted to focus on the bullying is because while I have a history of suicide attempt and contemplation, I wasn't bullied growing up. However, at the time, there were a lot of kids dying by suicide because they were bullied. So I was like, let me tap into this market or this area. So Super Beauty is more so her likeness is of me as a child, but her personality is of more of me now. She's definitely not who I was as a child. I was so far from that.
Wow.
So when you created this concept and like the whole creative situation behind it, did you how did you brand it for schools? Like how did you get it into, like, how did that happen?
So I wasn't new to going into schools. I used to go to career days and all kinds of things all the time. So I had relationships already. And I have friends that work at schools and teachers and clients because I've done graphic design as of now 14 years. So I have a lot of different clients and people that I've already been attached to with, connection somewhere. So my first couple, I guess, school presentations were people inviting me to come to career fairs, and I was like, I'm gonna bring my mascot. So it's just kind of like inching into the doors for free first, and just more so showing people that we here, and then after that, people started calling on us to book and actually do presentations. So it's just like we already had a foot in the door, bring something extra, and yeah.
So that was the plan from the jump.
Was it the plan? I don't know if it was the plan. I sometimes I go with what's open. Like if the door is open right here, I'm gonna just go through it.
Man, and
That's what's up.
you've had that the mascot and stuff for how long now?
2018 is when we launched Supa.
2018.
Yeah.
And if you had to put a number, or like how many schools have you been to or events have you done?
In the hundreds.
Oh,
That's a lot.
That's
In
what's
the
up.
hundreds. I'll say in the hundreds. I know we've sold dolls in 20 of the 50 states.
So how is that, like, getting into the toy
So
making?
when I launched Super Beauty, I hired a publicist because I knew I needed reach past what I could reach. So we just put my story out. So at some point after launching, I think July of that same year, because we launched the brand March of 2018. July, must be Essence Festival weekend, because it was the beginning of July. I got my first national publication, which was in Essence Online.
Dope.
So after I got Essence Online, I had got Black Enterprise. I had I won a competition on BET with T.I. Picture Hustle.
Was that in person, or how did that competition
It was
go?
not. It's crazy because the producer messaged me on Facebook. She reached out to me and was like, I think you should apply for this. I don't know where she found me from, but she was like, I think you should apply for this competition we having with his Grand Hustle reality show. So I submitted the video, made it to the final round. They flew out a crew to do a sizzle reel for me. And then of the 3 finalists, I won the grand.
Awesome.
Yo, that's dope.
Grand prize. So I've been featured by BET, Black Enterprise, Essence, News One, Good Morning America. So it was a lot of publication, and press and publicity around that. So yeah.
That's dope. So like, how has well, we're gonna get into like some real questions. How has the support been locally, honestly?
So So support is always a tricky subject for me to speak on. I always tell people, if you ever see me shunning support or saying I don't get support, slap me, because everything that I've done has been supported. I can't say I can't focus my attention on the people who don't support, because there are people that support everything I do. So I'm really big on acknowledging the people who have been there versus pointing the attention on people who haven't. However, I think Super Beauty's name at one point got bigger than mine. So people are just really, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
People are just attracted to her. And what I learned from going to schools, while my passion has always been for girls and uplifting them, I didn't realize like boys would be so, oh man, I want to high five, I want to dance with Super Beauty, until I had her. So that's kind of how Handsome Hero came about, because I didn't know that all kids would be impacted by her as I thought. So that was a surprise to me. But I think people have really attached on to us as like hometown hero situation. So I'm grateful for the love.
What type of testimonies do you get from Super Beauty? Do you hear those from the kids, or people give you like hit you back up and tell you how it has impacted them?
Well, I know the doll. I love to see little girls just carrying the doll around wherever they go. I've gotten pictures from people. They had a doll in the car seat, strapped up. What's more amazing for me is when non-Black people are in love with it, and they send me pictures with their white children or their Mexican children with my Black dolls.
I've seen that picture.
So I don't know. It's just amazing how you can have this. I can be a little country girl from Columbia, and this is just reaching people all over. So I get a lot of love from Texas, and it's because the places I've actually plant my feet in, or had news interviews locally, or had events in, they really still follow us because my books are in their libraries and things like that. So it's hard for me to talk about because I'm not like a boaster or a bragger type thing. It's just love.
So how did you get your books in like the libraries and stuff like that?
The publisher?
I am the publisher.
Oh, you're not the
I'm
publisher.
self-publisher.
What did you say you hired earlier?
A publicist.
Publicist.
Did they help you with that?
My publicist reached out for press opportunities, and some brand collab she did, but that was more so press. So like me getting in Essence, that was because she pitched my story to a writer.
Gotcha.
And then a lot of other writers saw the story in something else and, follow up because she was my press contact. But getting it in, whether it was in a store, getting it in a library, booking events, that was for me.
Oh, that's dope. That is dope. So with your with the doll, because you said you sold in like 20 of the 51 sets. So how did you get that in stores and stuff like that? Or where's it sold?
We sell it on our website, so we ship it out.
And you just
and then we vend. We currently we are in production because we don't have any more dolls. For some more. So
do you contact the stores?
Or
they contact you?
We sell them ourselves. We sell them on our own.
Well, no, what
website.
I'm saying. So you say it's in stores?
No, it's not in stores.
Okay.
It's not in stores. So we sell it, or we'll go to vend. Like one of my biggest vending events is this event called the Detroit Doll Show. They have every year in Detroit, and they showcase Black doll makers. So when I went there back in, it was either 2018 or 2019. It might have been 2018. But like I sold out of what I came with.
What?
Would you want it to be in like Walmart or these big?
Absolutely. It takes a lot of extra effort and time to properly fill out the documents, and you got to make sure your SKU codes don't expire, and
right.
It's a lot that goes into that, and then you also have to have at least the capital to have enough to send out to that many stores too.
Do you have it on Amazon?
It is on Amazon.
Okay.
I just prefer to sell it myself because we make more money without going through a middleman.
Right.
Man, that's wild.
That's dope.
Is there you said there is a doll for the Handsome Hero?
Yeah, and we got Handsome Hero dolls. We just don't have any Super Beauty currently.
He not selling like that?
No, he came out after her.
Oh.
So, he was produced after her, so I have more of him left than I have of her.
You brought any with you?
I didn't.
Oh.
That would have been dope.
I'm sorry.
So these characters, are they designed off of anybody in particular?
So Super Beauty is designed off of how I looked as a child.
Okay.
And like she carries my style, like her, cause I illustrated her.
Okay.
So, I illustrated him too, and he's her twin brother, but I illustrated her. So like her skirt, my favorite color is leopard print.
Okay.
So leopard print and pink, those are my favorite colors. Her skirt is a leopard print, pink and turquoise and black skirt, tulle type thing. She got on like Converse, like high top sneakers.
Okay.
Like I designed what she looks like. She got an Afro puff. So yeah, she's based off of my aesthetic.
Yeah, that's so dope. You so you illustrate too?
Not for other people.
I was asking the question.
Right, for your
Not for
DMs
other
be
people.
flooded.
I illustrated my Super Beauty characters and my Super Beauty books.
Has anybody contacted you like for help for them creating a doll? Or this type of what you doing?
Yes. And I
figured
offer
that.
consultations for that.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to know anymore when I send them my booking link.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
They want it for free.
So when you do your vending events, do your mascots come out too?
It depends. It depends if there's an opportunity for me to. So I have somebody else in the costume, obviously.
Yeah.
So if I feel like I want to invest in paying my mascot performer for something, I will. If I don't feel like it's necessary, then I won't. It just depends on the event.
That's pretty cool. You do like parades and stuff?
We've done a couple parades. We've done a Christmas parade. The last parade we did was last Black History Month. And we did a parade with a drum line. It was really dope.
Oh, dope.
We had a drum line with Super Beauty.
So the Super Beauty be dancing.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, but hey, let me tell you something.
Absolutely.
If you ever need somebody to get in that Handsome Hero, I don't even want to get paid. I just want to be in that mother.
You ain't got to tell me number one.
I'll be in there dancing that. I always want to be in the mascot, man.
See, this is the thing. So when people book Super Beauty, and it's different offerings we got. So I think sometimes people don't understand mascots don't talk. And they'll be like, can Super Beauty come talk? I'm like, well, Super Beauty can come, but if you want a presentation, you want somebody to speak, I have to come too.
Right.
Now, if you just want Super Beauty to come and appear, like meet and greet, that's fine. And one thing that I love about being an entrepreneur is that I don't mind working all levels. So, like, if I ain't required to speak, I get in the costume.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in my costume plenty of
I thought you said you don't dance, though.
I will dance, but what I'm
Super Beauty dancing.
but I'll dance, but I'm not the type of dancer that my regular mascot performer is.
Okay.
Does
it be hot in there?
It's absolutely hot.
Oof.
It is hot. Like I'm a natural hair girl. I cannot be in that Super Beauty costume with a blowout. Like by the time I take it off, I got Jerry curl.
Dang.
Yeah,
Like,
You gonna get in there?
what?
No, it's hot. That's why you said you do it for free. You gotta tell me that one
Man,
time.
I'm getting that. I just want to do it one time, man. I want to be in that
document it,
month.
It is
You
hot.
gonna document that.
It is hot. So yeah.
That junk is crazy. So, you an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever work a job? Like where was the last job you worked?
I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 12 years.
Yo, that's dope.
I have had a job. I left a job at 12 years ago. Since then I've had like some part-time things. Like I taught in a college as an adjunct instructor in between time. I worked at an agency part-time helping them with something. But I've never had another full-time job since 2011. Oh, however, I do not believe entrepreneurship is the end all be all.
Right.
So like I'm currently job seeking.
Okay.
Full-time job seeking. And when you get older and your priorities or your mindset changes, it's some things that are a little bit more important. Like I'm 36 and I've had Obamacare before. I've had other type of insurance, but right now, it's love for somebody to be like, here go your benefits and those type of things that people don't think about when you jumping into entrepreneurship don't come along with that. And I'm a diabetic and I've had some other health challenges in the last couple of years, and it's like, you know what, I can save the stress of like I gotta hear them get all these projects done and give me a job with some benefits, and you know if it can sustain me and I can still do what I'm doing, that's a little easier breezier. You know what I mean? So I try to make sure people don't look at entrepreneurship as the goal, because when I jumped into it, it wasn't like the thing to do at the time.
Right.
Now it's like everybody want to be an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So
everybody looks at the freedom of entrepreneurship, the money you can make, but it's the money you can make. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's freedom, but you're still working for somebody.
Oh,
honestly.
Absolutely.
You're working for somebody. And they see the glamour and everybody on Instagram and TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Flashing all of this money, but that joint ain't like that overnight.
Right.
And then there's so many like expenses that come with it, man. You be like, I can't even do this.
Especially when you got overhead and you run the location. It's hard. Entrepreneurship is hard. So I just try to make sure people understand, like, I don't feel like I'm better than anybody because, I'm an entrepreneur. I just found a way to sustain and provide for myself without clocking in.
Yeah.
But with entrepreneurship, you do not clock out.
You never clock out.
You do not clock out.
One thing I like about what you said is that you were honest. Because a lot of times you watch podcast interviews and watch interviews period, and entrepreneurs get in there, man, I made this amount of money, whatever, but they never told you about how much they lost. They never told you about how much they invested. They never told you about the nights they cried, or they feel like they couldn't do it, or I need to go get a job, and none of that stuff. They just acting like everything's been a blessing since day one, which is a lie.
Right. Like I got a guy, he has a business, and he always telling me how much he makes. You know him too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, I made this much. And we businessmen, so we know, like, bro, it took you had to put some money into
it. It costs to make money.
What's your real profit? You just saying the number that you got now, but that behind the scenes of how much you have to really put in, that stuff start to add up. And if you really do your numbers, sometimes it don't even make sense.
Right.
Why you did that.
Yeah, and we easily impressed.
Wow, you be in the red.
Yes.
Yeah, we are easily impressed by the people we see making all of this money. But when you really get into the business, really get into entrepreneurship, you ain't impressed anymore. Because, nah, brother, I know it costs something to make that. And I know the expenses that, come on, nah, brother, I ain't even with that.
They be so addicted to man, you make your own schedule.
Yeah.
Oh, man, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, man.
That's the part.
Go in when you want to, get off, take trips.
That's
a benefit, but that's not.
Yeah, that's the perspective that's kind of slighted. Like, if I get a full-time job, of course it's gonna be an adjustment with scheduling.
Right.
Like, I'm not accustomed to Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like, that's going to be a huge adjustment, but I have to look at, like, what is the benefit of me just doing this? And then I'm not stressed. I don't have to do no extra projects. I can, but I'm not relying on doing all these projects to pay my bills. Right. You know what I mean? I'm going to work, and that can be it for the day. You know what I mean? If I want to do some more, that's more income. So that scheduling, they think you just have these sole say so of what you can do as far as freedom, and it don't work that way.
No, it don't.
It do not.
I answer to my clients.
If you ain't doing nothing, that means you ain't making no money.
Yeah, right. That joint is crazy because you don't have nobody handing you a paycheck at the end of the week. So if you're not getting your hands dirty, if you're not doing no work, man, if you ain't actually doing it, man, you got to be promoting. You got to be pushing, marketing, trying to do something to get clientele, because they're not just going to come because you open up a business.
Right. Right.
That joint, man. It's something else. But so I wanted to hop into this real quick. With your music, I seen you just had a whole
recording
production.
Live recording.
Yeah, so that's for your album.
It is. It's for my third album, which is our album release film premiere is September 13th.
Oh, you got a film too with it?
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
We filmed it, so it'll be. I did a docu concert during the pandemic, but I guess this is kind of the same thing because it'll have behind the scenes preparation for this. What's crazy is I was sick the whole week and a half leading up to the recording. The day of the recording, I was the sickest I have ever been.
Wow.
The sickest I've ever been, and went immediately to the hospital after the show. I had emergency surgery 2 days after the show.
What?
I was in the hospital for 4 days. Like, literally left the venue, went home. My sister took me to the hospital that same night. I was in the hospital for 4 days.
Dang.
Yo, that's wild.
Is that part of the
it's going. So we don't have enough. We don't have a lot of footage of like me actually going to the hospital, but we got pictures and like Snapchat videos and stuff that we will include in it. It's not the professional film that, because I wasn't thinking enough to be like, Marquise, we need to get some video. And he was like,
get this.
Marquise was like, I ain't want to bother you, but I was hoping you was gonna get some video.
But he was ready.
But
you going
like,
where?
No,
you had it where?
It was so crazy. Like, we recorded my last rehearsal on film, which was 2 days before the show. And that day I was at the ER. So in rehearsal, I got on the hospital bed still. Like, I literally had to ride with my MD, TJ, because I went to the hospital because I was in so much pain and I needed to get out of pain to get through rehearsal.
Yo, that's
I had to get
drugged
up.
How did the show come out with you being like that?
The show is crazy. All glory to God, because if you saw me the morning of the show, like my whole team was just, they weren't saying that, but it was like, I don't think we're going to have no show today. I was like down. Wow. Like backstage, I was there at ETV from 9:30 a.m. I was curled up on the couch in my dressing room from 9:30 to 1 something. I'm gonna be honest because it's a podcast. I had a panic attack backstage. Like, I was crying. Like, I'm not the type of person that's about to be crying in front of people. Like, I was in so much pain. I looked so bad when I look back at pictures and video. But my production manager for the day, I was vomiting. Like, it was a lot of stuff going on. She gave me a CBD gummy. And I had a panic attack. And I was, like, crying uncontrollably. I was like,
Before the CBD or after?
Before.
Okay.
She gave it to me and I was panicking, so I was like, let me take the CBD gummy. That junk knocked me out 15 minutes. I walked out there for sound check, like, they was like,
yo, that's crazy.
Like, I was crying uncontrollably and like just passed out, like knocked out 15 minutes and woke up and just walked out there for sound check. Like, I was literally in pain, nausea, crying the whole morning. I didn't know how I was going to do sound check. I didn't know how the show was going to happen. And
and you put all that money up for the show.
Yeah, and it was my mom was like, you gonna reschedule, you gonna cancel it. Like, it's too much around this thing. It's not that easy to be like, we gonna do this next week. Like, my crew in itself was like 30, 40 people. Like, so that's scheduling for people, scheduling the location. I had got a grant for that, and the project had to be done by the 31st. Like, no, it's too many factors. I can't be the problem.
Yo,
I can't be the hold up.
Man.
This is gonna happen.
Dang.
So it's like a testimony in itself that this thing came about, and the show was amazing.
That's dope.
The show was amazing. Like, it's just amazing just watching it. Like, I started getting back in pain, like my second to the last song, and I asked the crowd, can I have 5 minutes to sit down? Like, you know I'm sick if I can't just get through the last song. Like, I got to sit down 5 minutes before I finish my last song of 10 songs. So I took a break, finished it, but like, it's amazing just watching and seeing.
Wow, man.
And where will it be released at?
Spotlight Cinemas, Columbia Mall movie theater.
Okay.
And September 13th. It's a Wednesday.
Yo, that's wow, man.
So it's still like unbelievable. Like when the people involved that were there and saw me, it's unbelievable that the show just even went about. So,
man,
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, that's a lot else, man.
I'm proud. I couldn't
even
like
imagine.
The sickest I've ever been.
Dang.
I couldn't. I ain't gonna say a lot to you.
You would have canceled. Y'all go home.
I can't.
I don't think you would have canceled. I think being in that position is like how I've worked on the moment for that day all year. Yeah. Like I launched my crowdfunding in January 24th. I fundraised from January 24th to March 25th. Like all year I've been working for this day. And you gonna tell me this day I can't? No, Satan will not have victory this day. No, like you tried it, but no. Yeah, like something got to give.
All the time, money invested.
And something gonna happen. Whether I got to sit down on the whole show, it was gonna happen.
Boy, that's man. That's you would have went through with it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about all that money.
It's too much time and money invested.
You losing money, I would have had to do it.
Yeah, like
you did 10 songs.
Yeah.
10 songs.
If I would have got into it and started feeling it, yeah, I would have tried. At least tried.
Nah, 10 songs, like 5-piece band, 3 background singers. Then, like it's too many people involved.
The house had looked packed too.
It was a packed show.
You know you like a packed
and
show.
Then it was
boy, you got a crowd out there.
And then like it was in a production studio. We had it at ETV. Like it's too many factors to be too many people involved and too many different schedules to be talking about when can we do it next.
Right.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So. Was that your biggest show you ever put on?
Absolutely. Biggest probably project yet. Yeah.
So what's next for Miss Tiffany J?
Other than the album coming out, I don't know. I probably have another book coming out soon. I don't have dates or anything like that. I don't know. I'm just living. I'm in a space. I'm just living, and trying to just be grateful for what I've been able to put out, and however it comes and releases through me. I'm just going with the flow. You
ever thought about turning your characters into like a animated series or something?
That has always been a goal from day one.
Okay.
I think it's probably a little bit easier now to do it than it was when I launched it. There are so many different, I guess, programs or options to try to do animations than from scratch. Because you're a graphic designer too, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's hard about being a graphic designer now is that Canva came about. And
that's my
like people kind of want to do their own thing, but I've always done my stuff like Photoshop, like for real.
Come on now.
And when I think about animation, I want it done for real. I don't want to use no cookie cutter stuff. So
or AI.
Yeah, so but it's a little bit easier to try to get into that now. But that has always been a goal from the jump.
That's dope, man.
There you have it.
Always been a goal from the jump. And we want to do a live, we actually have a script for a live production of our Supa Beauty first book. So we were going to do that during the pandemic, but it got canceled because of the pandemic. So at some point we'll resurface that. But like adults playing the characters for children, but a live production of our Supa Beauty Saves the Day book.
Man, that's so dope, man.
That is.
I am impressed.
Tiffany J.
So let's leave the people with a word, man. What you gonna tell the people that want to get into what you're doing, who want to get into motivation and entrepreneurship, all of that, just everything you do creatively?
I think it's important that we learn to be models and not just telling people what to do. I'm really big on people not calling me a motivational speaker. I prefer inspirational personality because I just believe that motivating is just telling or giving instruction. When you inspire people, you're inspiring through your actions. So if you can see that I've done it, that's enough of an instruction manual for you to see that somebody's done it. So I've always just been comfortable trailblazing or being an example or doing it first. Not necessarily the best, but being the first person to be like, I got the guts to do it, so you can too. I've never wanted to be in a solo arena or the only one to do this. I just have the guts to do it, to give you an example to go do it. So if you have a desire to do anything, first of all, you got to believe in yourself. Because if you're doubting yourself, the doubts from outside are just gonna cloud your doubt even more. So that's not gonna work. So you got to believe in yourself first, and if you want to do it, all you got to do is start. I don't believe in quitting. I do believe in taking breaks. You can rest as much as you want. Your timeline is dependent on you. And you don't have to compare your timeline to nobody else's. Like, when you get there is when you get there.
Preaching now.
Yeah, well, come on now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, if you want to do something, just go after it.
Yeah.
Well, this has been another dope episode of Major Figures Podcast. I'm your host, Goody.
I'm Chris Darnell.
And that is Tiffany J.
Appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you coming through.
Oh, yeah, Major Figures Podcast, and we out.